Hey traders, CN Trader here. Wanted to do another video on a pair that we had been trading and we had the opportunity to bank 3 targets on. I did post it on the thread over at Make and Bank, the harmonic rhythm of the market at Forex Factory. But I wanted to take this time now to go over what I'm seeing, the developments that are taking place. This pair is the pound CAD. You can see it up here. We are again starting on the weekly chart, and we'll kind of see so far where we've been. So we've taken this trade. We had taken a position long right in this area up to its third target, roughly about where we're at right now. And I've gone ahead and closed out that trade, and I am now flat to position watching a few areas. But just to kind of rehash a little bit briefly on why we got into that long trade. You can see we take this swing low to the swing high, and we've come down to 618. We came back up retracing here, and we came back down into this area here. So we're looking at a Gartley pattern that developed in this area. And you could see we got that nice behavior in this area, and we took this out, and we hit target 1, target 2 is in this area, and target 3 was roughly in the area that we're in now. And we're able to go flat that position. Also, what we had that had developed along with that pattern was an AB equals CD right down into that same zone. So we were able to get involved right in this area here. Okay, so that Gartley pattern would have looked something like this. As the AB equals CD pattern is drawn, Gartley would have looked something like this. Okay, into a 786. ABC down into a further area just beyond that 886 zone. So we had the pleasure of banking that and going flat. So still looking at this pair because there's a few things that are happening that I'm going to be paying attention to. And so let's take this. Let me go ahead and clean this up. And you can see this was well over. If we look at this, get into this area zone here, that's well over 1400 pips, 1300 pips. So it was a very nice trade for us. Now this trade was put out back in May or June, beginning of the summer. You can see here June 11th. I think I put it out somewhere out right in this area here. And then it took some time, a couple weeks to develop. And of course, during the summertime and beyond, we've been able to come out of that trade. Weekly charts, they don't happen overnight. They take time to develop. You have to have the patience and discipline to execute and follow through. So let's take a look at what's going on. We see we have some nice weekly. If we look at these weeklies, these are the zones that I like to mark out on my weekly chart where I can expect behavior to happen, where there's been some battles that have happened. You could see this area here, and you could see this area here, a little fighting back and forth. And then we could see we came up into this area where there was a lot of fighting. We came right back down right into this area here, and again the double bottom into this area. We came up into here, back down into this zone, and then we broke out. We came back and tested this area. We came way up here, came right back down to test those areas. Now this happened over years, right? These are significant areas that have taken place over the years, these areas. So you can see the battles that have happened here, up in here, back down into here. You can see it came up, retested, fell down, came into these areas. I'm going to go ahead and move this. We'll just get rid of that. Again, some more battles here, here, here. Again, here, here. You can see them here, here. All this area. Here's small little, these are weeklies and monthlies. You can see you got a small little daily and 4-hour that occurs right here, which is an area that I like. So I'm watching this area closely. So let's zoom in a little bit, see what I see. We're going to look at the weekly first. So if I go ahead and measure with a Fibonacci tool the swing high to this swing low, you can see we're in a 786 area right here, right? And if we look left, you can see some decent structure here, decent structure in this area, and this area. You can see all in this area right where we are. right? We have some structure. So if we are going to respect this structure and we head back downwards, we are looking at a potential um, retrace. So let's look at that. We're going to measure this swing high, this swing low to this swing high up here, somewhere in this area, assuming we don't get to the 886, which is another area we're going to be watching. And you could see maybe a 50, a 61 comes down into this area, but the 50 really tests this next level on the weekly, and we goes back about 9 years. All right, and so we could end up having a butterfly pattern that develops, where we might get short if the behavior dictates, but we could potentially come down into this area and end up coming up into this area, and you can see the structure again, the nice line that's in this area. All right, now that's a while out. If that is going to develop, that's going to take some time, months. Perhaps we can be sitting at this time next year, but nonetheless, there is some opportunity if we go ahead and put a sell zone in this area. There is some opportunity that's potentially developing for us to have some nice downside move if in fact that is going to happen. If we come back up and test this area and then we come back down here, and we could have an inverse head and shoulders pattern that develops right in here, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, for a potential breakout down the line. Again, weeks to months to years. This is a weekly chart. All right, so let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. We're going to keep that sell zone right here, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to zoom into a daily. And this is what we got going on a daily. We can measure it from this swing high. You can even measure it from this swing high. If we measure it from this swing high and we come down here, you can see we get up to a 38. If we measure it from this one here, it's still a 38. So what that tells me is a potential for a bat pattern that could develop. And so that would look something like this. We'll go ahead and measure it from here. That's fine. I think on the thread, I measured it from the lower one, but it will look something like this, right up to this 886, right in here. Okay, that would be a bat pattern. So price developing anywhere in this sell zone for an opportunity for these levels to be taken out, for price targets to be put in based on behavior in the past. We can look at structure as an area where we might want to take a look to bank profit. Okay, the other thing that's going on with this chart is a potential 3 drives pattern. Let me just get this out of here. All right, so the first one would be from here to here, drive number 1. Okay, and we can measure that. It's not going to be exactly hit for hit, just because I'm going to have to adjust this a little bit. But you could see we come right into this area. You can see this structure, but you could see that, and we get a retrace down, and then we get our third one. It's going to be right up into that 886 sell zone. So we get a nice little sell zone that's happening here. And something like this on a weekly, right now we have it shown on a daily chart, but if we look at this weekly, this is something that can offer us multiple opportunities to get involved. It's possible we come up, we get the behavior we need to go south, and we take it and it goes straight down like this did right here, right? We had this nice little double top, get a higher high, low close, boom, see you later. Never really look back all the way down into this level, right? Excuse me. We could have something like that, or we can have something that takes place where we have multiple opportunities. You can look at this lower end down here, and you can see coming into this area, we had an opportunity to get long, boom. We come right back down, get another opportunity to get long, boom. We come back down into this area again, we get another opportunity to get long, right? So it can be multiple opportunities that take place that we could take advantage of. And you could see this consolidation is taking place. You know, you have this little range trade right in here, really between here and here is where most of the price action has taken place, with a few opportunities in here and in here and in here outside the breakout zone. And there's a lot of room out here. If we go higher, we don't get the behavior to go long or to go short. There may not be opportunity up here. And you can see there's lots of room. So here's one more thing to consider. Again, this will never happen overnight unless there's some sort of major intervention that's been taking place. But you see we come to a 50% retrace here. So eventually, some years down the road, we may see this up here develop. The other thing we can look at, sometimes what I like to do is time. Like, how do we measure time? Well, look how long it took, how much time it took to get to this retracement of 50%. And we came back down. Oops. Let me see if I can get that. There we go. It's not going to allow me to do it. Let's see. There we go. Let me get it off of that. Now, we're going to swing this over here. And you could see harmonically, we're in a decent time to break out to the upside to come up here. So there's tremendous opportunity that's taking place with this pair. So be disciplined, be patient, allow yourself to see the behavior in these areas. Obviously, we have to take fundamentals into consideration. Which fundamentals is the market going to focus on? Well, the answer will be there for us when the move is made. But you have to be able to pay attention to the behavior and what's taking place in those zones to give you the opportunity to get involved with the trade. So, stay disciplined, stay patient, commit, and pay attention to your work ethic. Enjoy, have fun, trade your plan. Make a great day. Do your own due diligence, and may we all make bank. Game-changing bank. The kind of bank that makes you just think and grow.